Hey guys, it's Caleb with White Metal Games here. I haven't done an update in a week or so. We've been really busy with stuff on the home front. We're moving. We just bought a home, so we're starting to pack up a little bit here, so it's been kind of hectic. But now that things are sort of getting back into a normal frame of reference, I wanted to give you a quick update video, show what I've been working on. Honestly, it hasn't been a lot, so don't expect too much from this. Those are just going to be like really one or two little things. So first up, a few weeks ago, I had mentioned doing sort of a poor man's, what do you call these guys? The Necron, Lord, I can't think of what they're called right now. Didn't mind if, Flayed ones. Thank you. There it is. Anyway, so I like the Flayed one models a lot from GW. The problem is the price. $45 for 5 just blows me away. So I wanted to come up with a cheap alternative. So this is kind of what we came up with. These are basically Necron warriors, and we've used a heat gun to bend their legs in various positions to give the illusion of movement. We also picked up a bunch of these scythes from Reaper, and a whole bunch of other miscellaneous bits like this claws from a ghoul kit from Mantic Games, and then of course the basic Necron warrior. We also got a few plastic scythes from some old zombies that we had held on to. So this is a squad of 5. I did 4 squads, but they're all pretty similar. Some of them have random bits, like this one has holding a body that was from a GW zombie, I think. He was sort of dragging around a corpse. These cloaks are made from gray stuff, which is an alternative to green stuff. It's an epoxy sculpt, and it's made by a company called Avis Studios that does epoxy sculpt. The only kick with these pewter scythes is that they all had to be weighted with base weight, so I used quite a few base weights for this project, and my base weight vendor doesn't sell anymore, so I'm having to be a little I have to use those lightly. Anyway, so we built 4 squads of 5, so we built 20 for a whole pack. We're going to put these up on eBay, I think. I like them. I think they're pretty fun. They sort of give a neat alternate take. I think the scythe could easily justify the multiple attack characteristic in sort of a sweeping attack form, and because flayed ones don't have rending or power weapons or anything like that, I think a basic weapon like this is fine. So there you go. Not bad. I've been calling them Reapers just for fun, and I think with the whole Necron look, because of the skull-like look they've got, I think if you did some sort of white armor on them, they'd be pretty sharp. Okay, so the other obviously big project we've been working on is the Emperor, which I'm effectively calling, what's the name for Thor's hammer? It's Yalnir or something like that. Jolnir. So I've been calling it Jolnir, just as sort of a fun little kick. Anyway, so this is how it looks primed up, and I've applied some very basic paint at this point. So we primed it black. Took like 6 cans to get this thing fully primed. We remounted it. We applied white paint to the base, and we also applied this white stucco paste, which is basically a filler, to close up some of these ridges to make it look like it wasn't just wood. So there's that. It's obviously I'm going to have to go over with more white later, but that's just a start. It also helped us to disguise the crater edge. So I think that's kind of cool. It actually looks like something sort of hot hit this and blew it out and left that empty, whereas the snow is still on the edges. So I think that works pretty well. There's some bits of ruin on the base, of course, some bits of this Eldar transport or fire prism that has crashed into the foot of this thing, and we're going to, of course, do that. I think we may just make it look like snow instead. We may just decide to do that as snow, since it already looks kind of like it's just stepping on a big pile of junky piled snow. So anyway, we'll figure that out later. So here's the basic model primed. We went over it with black, and we also did a layer of a gray, sort of a dry dust, sort of a very, very quick dry brush over it with gray. Not even a dry brush, just a dusting, really. And that picked out enough detail that I think you can see. I think seeing it primed helps a lot. I got some different responses on YouTube, which is normal. But I think people need to see it primed in order to see it as a uniform color. I think that helps with their imagination. So there it is. I did also go ahead and do the plasma gun because that was a nice easy thing. It was just 2 shades of blue and a shade of white to give a glowing effect. So it's nice and simple, nothing complicated there. And I think now that you're able to see it in its full form, I think it looks alright, it's not bad. If we're not able to sell it, I think what we may do is drop it at a local shop and offer sort of a rental. If people want to use it in an apocalypse game, allow them a very small fee just to rent it for a day. I think that might be an opportunity I've missed. business-wise. So yeah, there it is in all of its grandeur. Anyway, as usual, if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, please feel free to contact me. We will be moving our location in the next 6 weeks or so. We just bought a new home, so we're going to be down for a few weeks while we're getting everything situated. But hopefully we'll be back up and running as quickly as possible. We've been doing a lot of airbrushing recently, so we're looking forward to getting some airbrush projects up and listing those. But as usual, if you have any comments or questions or anything, just email me at caleb@whitemetalgames.com. And otherwise, I hope you have a good 4th of July, if I don't post any new videos in the next week or so. We intend to continue painting on the Titan and have that done in a few weeks. And we intend to continue busting out new projects as long as we can. And if you have any questions or comments, just give us a holler. So thanks. Have a good week. Happy wargaming. Bye.